Today we want to talk about a really important argument. Many people contact us asking for information, like, I want to come in Italy. What if I take a plan and I fly to Italy, come here and I apply very quickly in just 3 months? Can I do that? Well, pay attention on this. In our opinion, applying in Italy through a town hall, through a so-called 𝙿𝙤𝙨𝙘𝙡 is the worst things you can do, except in certain circumstances. So, this is Marco 𝙘𝙀😸 always from the 𝙘𝙀😸 Law Firm&Partners from Italy, an Italian immigration law firm with expertise on Italian citizenship application. Do not lose any more time and let's start. A lot of people, maybe because you read online that the application, if you go to Italy, you go in person to Italy and file your application in Italy, is the best things to do, is the fastest way to apply. But is it really true? Are you sure 100% it is the best things you can do? Well, in our opinion, it's not, and in certain circumstances, it's the worst things you can do, because it's not so easy. It's a long process, it's a complex process. Technically speaking, there are two different scenarios. Applying in Italy if you're a resident in Italy, or applying abroad if you're a resident abroad. From the other side, you may ask, okay, I'm allowed to come in Italy, asking for filing my application, and if the town hall accepts my application, then I can be registered as a resident through the town hall during the wait time for my application to be decided, approved or not approved. Yes, this is true, but there are also some other things to consider. When you apply through the Comune, you have your bunch of documents, the town hall will accept your application and they will register yourself as an Italian resident during the duration of the evaluation process of your application. Be aware of this point, because you are formally a resident in Italy. If you stay more than 6 months as resident in Italy, you may be considered from that moment an Italian tax resident, and so you have to manage the fact that you are formally legally considered an Italian tax resident, and at the same time you need to file your tax declaration in your home country. So there can be some really huge problems, huge consequences in terms of taxation, and if there is no a treaty between Italy and the other country, you risk to pay your taxes 2 times. So technically speaking, there can be some problems with the Italian Renew Agency in terms of taxation, because from the moment you are registered, and so the moment you are waiting for your application to be decided, the Italian Renew Agency, the so-called 𝙘𝙤𝙧 𝙗𝙗, can ask you for filing your tax declaration to declare your income. So this can be a really huge consequences on yourself. Is it worth? No, doesn't make sense to make a complication like that. The law says that if you are resident abroad, you need to file abroad. If you are not able to file abroad because, for example, the Italian consulate is not giving you appointment, well, you can apply through the Italian court system because of the lack of appointment, and without coming here, because you can just sign a power of attorney to your Italian immigration attorney. So there is also another things to keep in mind. Point number 2. When you file your application to the town hall, there are, of course, your Italian documents from your Italian assessor, and there are the documents coming from abroad. For example, you are from the US, so you have your documents, a birth certificate, marriage certificate from the US with the apostille translation. Keep in mind that the town hall may randomly, during the checks of all documents, they also take contact with the Italian consulate abroad, the local Italian consulate abroad, for double checking all the information, all the documents you filed. And the problem is that if the Italian consulate abroad is literally backlogged with all the application, it may take a lot of time to a reply, to a finalization of your process. Until the town hall will hear back from the consulate, your application is not decided. So it means that you remain resident for a lot of time. So this process is not so fast as you can read online. You have to pay a really huge attention. In our opinion, we always say that applying in Italy, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense if you want to stay in Italy, if you want to be a resident in Italy and stay here living long term, or if you are a resident, of course, in Italy. There are no fast way. You have to keep in mind there are no fast tracks. You need to do the process as the law requires. You need to accomplish the law, and for sure, we are talking about getting Italian citizenship, getting an Italian passport. The Italian government will never give you the Italian passport so easily. If you find somebody that is promising you fast-track ways, they are lying to you, because the law is very clear. You need to accomplish the law. If you want your case to be successful, you need to file your application as the law prescribed. That's very, very important. As always, thank you so much for your attention. Of course, if you have some other questions, some doubts, something you want to ask, you can leave a comment below. You can contact us through the website, through our website, through the contact form. Also, if you want to book a consultation, if you want to do a eligibility check of your application for Italian citizenship, Jure Sanguinis, it's not a problem. The team is always happy to reply to all your questions. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you on next videos.